Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with California Ag Network, reporting to you here today with John Duarte, who's running for the 13th Congressional District. It was amazing to hear the announcement. You're a multi-generational farmer,
Yeah.
and you're running for Congress. Like, how did this happen?
Well, I've always been politically active as a civilian, as a farmer, as a businessman here in the Valley. I've had many fights for agriculture, sometimes against the government, oftentimes for better tax policies, water policy I've fought for several times, had some wins, had some losses. But I looked at the new districting, looked at this opportunity, got my family's support, and thought, it is time to move out of the cheap seats. And this farmer and this businessman needs to go to Washington and take the fight to D.C. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to send a farmer and a businessman from the Central Valley who built his business in the Central Valley, who has 33 years experience, thousands of customers up and down the state, to go represent our communities in Washington, D.C. We don't need a career politician. We need one of us, and that's me.
And John is no career politician. But you have had a lot of experiences in dealing with some tough situations over the years, right?
Oh yeah, I'm the guy that got sued for planting wheat in a wheat field, as ridiculous as that is. When you look at all the corruption and bad things that happen in Washington, D.C., and someone says, oh, we got to make sure that never happens again, I can go back and say, no, we can prosecute it as it stands now. I was prosecuted for planting wheat in a wheat field, and nobody said, oh, we got to make sure that never happens again. No, we need to hold Washington, D.C., to the same standards that they're holding us to, if not higher standards. And I'm going to take that back to Washington, D.C., let them know of my experience and my friends' experience here in the Valley, and make sure Washington, D.C. is on notice that the Central Valley is coming back there to get the results they need and to bring the accountability they need to Washington.
And then, with your potential constituents or future constituents, what would be your main message to them as to why they should vote for John Duarte?
Help is on the way. We are going to get water on farms. We are going to protect their jobs. We're going to protect their communities. We are going to help the farmers in this Central Valley farm their ground, feed the world, build the economy, and protect the communities. The high cost of living that we're suffering today throughout California is impacting people in my district disproportionately. We've got a lot of hard-working families barely making ends meet. Gas prices are too high. I'm going to be running against a guy, Adam Gray, who voted to increase the gas tax. Then when it's time to vote to decrease the gas tax, he didn't even show up for the vote. We're going to hold him accountable. We're going to hold all these folks who think they're moderate Democrats and that we're going to buy their story accountable. We're not going to buy their story. We know what Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden are doing to the Central Valley. They're increasing our cost of living. They're destroying our jobs. They're destroying our farms. We're going to get something different out of this Congress. And it's going to start by winning this race here in the 13th Congressional District. This is a working class small towns district. My big cities in this district, Madera, Chowchilla, Los Banos, Ceres, parts of Turlock. We aren't the backyard of Fresno anymore. These towns are going to have their own congressman. They're not going to share a congressman with a much larger population center. This is a vast, expansive district, goes over 5 counties down the west side of the San Joaquin Valley. They're going to have their guy. We're going back. We're sending a farmer and a businessman to Washington, D.C. to take our case right to Congress.
Well, this is great. I just have to say I have great admiration for somebody that's willing to stick their neck out, stand up, and do what you're doing. So for those other people out there that want to support you in what you're doing, what would be your recommendations to them?
Well, contribute to the campaign as much as you can. Some can more than others, but hey, I'll take $10. I'll take a personal max of $2,900. Depends where you are right now. I tell guys, tell everyone, do what you can for my campaign, and then tell 5 people to help too. We've got yard signs, so if you're in the 13th Congressional District, get a John Duarte for Congress yard sign. If you want to volunteer, sign up on our website, John Duarte for Congress. Sign up to volunteer and walk districts with us. We're going to be doing that in the next couple weeks. We've set up a campaign office in Merced. We're going to be organizing out of there. And just get online, get engaged with us, talk to your friends, talk to your families, and say, we're sending one of our own back. We're sending a farmer and a businessman and a fighter back to Washington, D.C. to stick up for our Central Valley communities.
Well, thank you so much, John. Way to represent. Read more about these things in our publications. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.